Hello, hello. Welcome back today. Well, are you ready for this drama, this romance to keep going? All right, well, here it goes. Dear diary, I'll just start right away with the latest. Matt moved out. He ignored me. I was truly angry and hurt. He said, "Give me time." I said, "Yeah, well, I'm moving on, and when you're ready, I'll see." He was angry and hurt at this. I continued to be angry, and he kept trying to chat with me, and I gave him short, quick answers. The fun news is that my friends from high school got married, and you know what? I got tons of attention. It was amazing. I thought to myself, okay, all right, I'll be nice to Matt now. I've got 100 other options. On sports day at school, I was on a high. This was the last day of school. I was loving myself and my life. I felt confident, desired, and totally in tune with myself. And then Matt asked if I'd like to go for a drink after work. I said yes. Okay, I admitted I was happy. Happy he was still interested. Happy because I really do like him. Happy to have his attention again. He said, "Really? Cool." The difference this time was that he invited some friends along too. He forgot to mention that part. We had a really nice time, and then he'd asked if I'd like to come back to his place. We watched a bit of TV, and then he took my hand. He turned to me and said, "I've been waiting for this time forever. And now I feel so nervous, like a 14-year-old boy. I just want to kiss you." I was melting. Oh my God, when he talked to me like this, I felt like I was living in a movie. I was experiencing romance, a romance that I never thought I would ever get to experience in my life. I said, "Just do it." And so we kissed. It was soft and tender, and then grew passionate real fast. We chatted and kissed for a bit, and then I had to go home as we both had work the next day at the school. But I was on cloud 9. Wow. I honored myself, and then while I was happy, he came back because he kind of saw what he was missing. Yay me! I went to school full of energy and bliss, and he completely ignored me. I was pissed off, but I didn't show it. I just acted distant too. The following week, he stopped by my classroom and handed me one of his famous little notes. "Walk and talk," it said. I went over to his place that evening, and as soon as I stepped into his house, he grabbed me and said, "I've been waiting so long to do this." And then he kissed me really passionately. I was in shock. I felt desirable. I felt womanly. I felt what I had wanted to feel for years, passion. Oh, we drank wine, we got tipsy, we danced to Shakira's Spanish album, and made love for the very first time. And yes, it was indescribable. The next day, everything was great and continues to be amazing, except we don't really see each other a lot outside of school. His friends ask him to do things a lot, which is great for him. I'm truly very happy for him, except that he cancels with me or just keeps going out with them and keeps going out with them. And this makes me question how he truly feels about me and what he's actually looking for. I figured that he would feel the same way as me because of all the things he said and written me Why wasn't he as desperate to spend every moment with me as I was with him? Why was he so off and on? If you feel strongly about someone, you want to spend time with them, right? I think when we see each other on Friday, I'll ask him where he wants things to go. Friday came, and Matt called to tell me what he and his friends were doing and would I like to come. What? Excuse me? How long has it been since we've seen each other and you go and make plans with a friend and invite me to come along after we had already spoken about getting together on Friday? I was pissed. However, I figured, okay, after tonight, I'm going to have my big talk with him. Then I find out he has to put his beloved dog down. Haha, I completely, definitely know what utter pain that is, so I was not going to try and talk about our relationship issues. No, that's not what I was going to do. So I arrived at his house and it was pouring rain. I drove us to his friend's house, and as we ran from the car to the house, I put up the hood of my jacket. And while we stood waiting for his friend to open the door, he looked at me, laughed, and then took my hood off. The head chatter was quick and furious. Oh my God, you're not attractive. You're not really womanly enough for him. He doesn't really like you. What are you even doing with him, Erin? Try really hard to impress his friends so he likes you. Later, I drove him back to his house, and we started talking about how he's been feeling about putting his dog down. Of course, I was listening. I was being so supportive and understanding, and then he said, "Thanks for coming out tonight. It was fun." I don't know where this came from, but out of my mouth popped, "You know, I would really like for you and I to just go out and have fun together." And he replies, "Yeah, that'll come." I was so pissed. Are you noticing that I really get angry a lot? But I don't do anything. I was so pissed off that I scoffed. "Yeah." He said, "What was that?" I said, "Nothing." He said, "You can't do something like that and then say nothing." I said, "Well, I do need to talk to you, but now is for sure not the right time." He asked if I wanted to talk to him before or after tonight, and I said before. He had a really worried look on his face, and all I could think of was, what the hell are you worried about? What do you really feel? Oh, I left shortly after, feeling depressed, deflated, confused, unattractive, low. Thank God I was going to Calgary to be with friends that weekend. I needed to just get away, get perspective on this whole thing. Would they tell me to calm down or to walk away? That's where this post is going to stop today. Commentary! Again! Are there not signs? Let me tell you one of the biggest signs that came to me. When he took my hood off and laughed at me, number one, if I didn't have baggage, that wouldn't bother me. But I don't have now. I had baggage about feeling attractive, being good looking enough, being womanly. Was I someone that a real man, a good man would love? So I had all of that stuff. And so of course I attracted that situation in. If I didn't have issues around that, it might have happened, but I wouldn't have been bothered by it. But it did happen, and I really think that it was a huge sign of disrespect, actually, and unacceptance. He wanted me to be and look in a certain way because he had put me on such a pedestal. All he kept saying was how beautiful I was. All I kept saying was how he just couldn't stop thinking about me, how I've turned on his life. He feels passion again. His other girlfriend never made him feel like that. I mean, there was just, everything was always coming out of his mouth, and then his actions were so different. That should have been another opening for me to just say, you know what, this is not working for me, but I didn't. And that's a huge, huge lesson. This works for even if you're not in a relationship. This is, how do you allow people to treat you? I love the saying by Dr. Phil, you know, we teach people how to treat us. And I wasn't teaching him. I wasn't communicating again. I was getting pissed all the time. And I was starting to do things like scoffing. Yeah, the face, the look. But I wasn't communicating. And elegant women, they know how to communicate. They know who they are. They know what they need. They know what they desire. And they know what they require. And they are able to communicate it. And they are able to put boundaries around themselves and say, I will allow this into my life, but I will not allow this. And it's not always easy. It is not always easy to have to release people from your life. That could be friends, that could be jobs, that could be, you know, leaving jobs because of certain bosses, that could be relationships, parents. It's any way that you allow yourself to not have a boundary and go against everything that you know yourself to be. So on The Elegant Life, one of the biggest things that I'm going to be speaking about is how, and you'll see through the story how I started to develop these boundaries. But it took me a long time. And that's one of the reasons I'm sharing this as well. I want to cut your learning curve so that you don't have to go through these things either. So the bright lights become real warning signs to you, and you listen to them because you know who you are. So follow me along this journey. It gets interesting, embarrassing, and yeah, let's do it together. See you tomorrow.